Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a regular episode of The Redeemables.
Yeah.
The Redeemies are done.
Yes.
So now we're back to The Redeemables, where we talk about shit movies instead of really good movies.
Instead of Oppenheimer.
If you haven't come along for the ride before, this is a podcast where we watch movies that scored 50 or below on the Metacritic scale and decide to either redeem them or nail them to the cross.
To the cross.
My name is Kenny, and today I'm joined by a teenage virgin obsessed with gaming, Duff.
Yeah. Obsessed with gaming.
And
Teenage gamer obsessed with virgins.
Same. And a retired racer carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders, BJ.
I'm grizzled.
Yeah, you should
Very
have
grizzled.
nearly made it to Le Mans.
Yeah.
Could have been immortal.
So if you haven't figured out by that intro what movie we're doing, it is 2023's Gran Turismo.
What is this?
It's a contest. The best Gran Turismo players in the world get a chance to compete in professional racing.
Dude, this is real.
This is real.
I'm sorry. You really think you're going to take a kid who plays video games in their bedroom, you're going to strap him to a 200-mile-an-hour rocket? It'll tear him to pieces.
You can hate me now,
It's not going to work. The guys who race are elite athletes.
but I won't stop now.
Your kids are scrawny little gamer kids.
Well, that's where you come in.
Cause I can't stop now.
Must be a new experience for you, moving your legs. You puked on my lawn.
There's no turning back now.
When you're in a race, the cockpit is going to be 140 degrees Fahrenheit. The G-forces will be twice what an astronaut experiences upon liftoff. I can't see anything.
Won't stop now.
Hey, you get extra points for that in the game? Jesus Christ.
I had to hustle hard, never give up.
This whole thing is insane, but out of the couch surfing nerds that you sent me, he is the best one. You made it.
Welcome to Team This End.
You can hate me now.
What's next?
Major leagues. The other drivers are going to hate you. Whoopsie.
Dude, what is your problem?
It's part of the game. It's called racing.
But I won't stop now.
If you miss a line in the game, you reset. You miss it on the track, you could die.
You can hate me now. But I won't stop now.
I know this track.
Cause I can't stop now.
I've raced it 1,000 times. That's what I'm talking about.
You can hate me now, but I won't stop now.
It's the one with Clint Eastwood in it, isn't it?
That's
And
right.
He hates the
Yes. Hates
Yep.
Get off my lawn.
So Gran Turismo, it's a new film.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
2023.
fresh.
Late 2023 as well, I think it was, wasn't it? It was
Didn't
October,
even-
November-ish.
Shoulder blur.
Didn't appear on the Redeemies.
Yeah, shame.
Yeah.
Right on the cusp, I reckon.
It
You know
was.
what it was? It was in there with Dungeons and Dragons to me, where it's not good enough to make a top 10 list, but it was surprisingly fucking great.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Look, that is surprising because Dungeons and Dragons made my top 10 list.
Well, sorry, but I was talking about myself. Yeah. I do that sometimes.
His favourite subject.
Yeah.
moodiness.
So here is what it is. Gran Turismo is a 2023 American biographical sports drama film
Wicked.
directed by Neil Blomkamp from a screenplay by Jason Hall and Zach Balin.
Wait, this was directed by Neil Blomkamp.
Yeah.
Really?
I know, man.
I didn't
Crazy, eh?
I know.
Wow.
It's weird. Yeah, it's weird. Produced by Columbia Pictures, PlayStation Productions, which you might have picked up throughout
Yeah,
the
so,
film.
yeah, there was some subtle
PlayStation might have
nods.
had a little bit of...
Yeah.
Do you think Nissan had anything to do with this movie? It is based on the racing simulation game of the same name. The Wikipedia plot synopsis reads, it tells the true story of a British teenager, Jan Mardenborough, a teenage Gran Turismo player who became a professional racing car driver. Sorry, it's Jan.
Jan.
It's Jan. Sorry, I pronounced that wrong. Jan Mardenborough.
It's pretty crazy.
It's great. It's fucking insane. Yeah.
I'm prepared to be surprised by any and all actual facts.
Great.
Because
You don't know which ones are real and which ones
dying
aren't?
to Google this shit.
All right. I'm glad you didn't.
But I'm a clean slate.
I'm glad you
And
didn't.
I'm very, very keen to know what
We're going to get to it.
Excellent.
Oh, we're going to get to it.
So
right?
I'm glad you prepared that because otherwise I really stitched you up just then.
Right? So it's based on a true story.
Yes.
So to be remiss of me not to talk about what was true and what wasn't.
Then again, if I was doing it based on true story, I wouldn't look into it. Why would I? I'd just seen the movie.
Yeah, no, it seems legit.
It's fair enough. The studio marketing tagline, guys?
Go.
From gamer to racer.
I like it. Factual. I
don't
guess.
like
Yeah, it gets the job done.
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
It's not sexy, but it
No,
gets
it's
the
not
job done.
sexy. It was plain, but I thought it was cool. Yeah. You okay with it, Duff? Or
Is that it? Is that the one?
That's it.
Yeah.
It was just one. And it's actually, this is one of those ones where on the poster, it's actually one of those massive ones that's bigger than the title of the film.
Oh.
So it takes up 2/3 of the poster or the front cover of the movie.
They were very pleased with themselves.
From
about it.
gamer to racer in giant block writing 2/3. And then at the very bottom, it's the Gran Turismo typical
Right.
I think you
logo.
nailed it. It's not sexy. Like,
Yeah.
doesn't get me excited to watch it.
You know who it does get excited to watch it when it says that?
Gamers.
Every
Racers.
fucking, like racer, every gamer, and like no, not normal gamers, but like you know how there's like racing gamers,
Yeah,
like,
I
like
know.
dudes that are obsessed with racing games.
I know the type. We've
Yeah.
got a few friends like that.
Oh, we have got a few friends.
I
like
wonder
that.
if they've seen it though, because they're fucking. Probably not.
You know what?
Finish that sentence.
You know what the problem is? If they've seen it, this is what they would say. Oh, it was not like the game.
The game's much better than
cool.
the film.
The game's a fucking racing game. It doesn't have a story, dickhead.
Yeah.
But it's funny because there was some shit like that online. Oh, it was too far from the game.
Yeah,
What
right.
fucking-
You just wanted to watch cars go
you just
around.
race
What do,
it.
you, what do you want? 2 hours of just crashing into a wall.
So glad
Actually,
it wasn't
that doesn't-
exactly like the
that
game.
doesn't sound so bad.
Actually, I've watched worse.
You guys want to know what the budget was?
Yeah, of course.
Well, what do you
Lots.
think it was?
Oh, let's take a stab. I reckon. PlayStation movies. Pretty well funded.
I would think so.
Nissan chopped in some cash as well.
Sony, Nissan.
Yeah.
Who makes the Logitech? I think was in there with their racing wheels.
Black Sabbath. I reckon $185 million.
Dang.
Duff.
I will go with Easy Hunt.
Okay. This one's going to shock you.
Okay.
60 mil.
Wait, what?
I know. Cheap cast. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like cheap enough.
Yeah.
The highest bill was probably
Harbour.
Bloom.
Nah, David Harbour.
David Harbour would get
Hey,
paid.
wait, has Bloom got no pull anymore?
No, nothing.
We'll talk about the Bloom loop.
We're actually going to talk about Bloom later
Yeah.
and where he's at in his career.
Okay, good.
But David Harbour, I think, is probably the biggest draw
Yeah.
card, and he's doing this for 4?
I think he's doing a 3.
3?
Yeah.
3. I think a Bloom's on the 3 too.
You think so?
I
I
reckon.
think he might be.
People know who
Bloom's
he
a
is.
1.5.
And Jan just gets a steering wheel.
Yeah.
He gets a cap and a shirt. I've got some thoughts on that.
He's actually had a great start to his career, but
Yeah.
he wouldn't be pulling money.
No.
Not yet.
So I reckon the whole cast.
Now he might be.
I reckon the
But,
cast. Digimon's probably a mil.
I think-
Maybe, not a huge part, but
He deserves nothing.
I think
less.
Neil's getting 10.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
10 to direct.
I don't know whether director's included in the budget.
It's got to be, surely.
Is it?
It has to be.
We never talked about it before.
You were never
Until
breaking it
just
down.
now.
Do you know what? We're going to do a mini where we just break down the actual monetary semantics of how a movie's made. That'll be fun. Because we're experts.
Let's do this. Let's throw it to our listeners. Can
Yeah.
someone find out
Google that for us, please.
what's actually included in the budget and what
Yeah.
isn't, and
Okay.
just flick us an email.
Because even
or hit us on socials.
like advertising's included in the budget.
Yeah, I think it's the whole cost to make the movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I'm
director's in then. Unless sometimes the director kind of co-finances it, and then what happens?
Oh,
Then
And I
the-
think
then it's produced and directed.
This is the other bit. I'm pretty sure, and this is getting boring now, but I'm pretty sure a lot
No,
of
it's not.
directors.
Keep going.
But a lot of directors will go, no, just give me a percentage of taking
Points, yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
The old Gerard Butler that we learnt about that when we did one of his films, didn't we? So budget only 60 mil. So
That's
we just mentioned
really
the cast.
impressive.
Sorry, before that got really fucking boring. But
Yeah.
the cast's not expensive, but everything else looked real good for 60 mil, man.
I actually was thinking it was specifically during the private jet scene when,
Yep.
and I don't know how much it costs. We'll have to get Rod Gunn on that to check. What does a Learjet cost?
Well, yeah, he worked out the helicopters
Yeah,
when
he's
we
done,
did
he's done this
Hostage,
for us
so-
before. He's our airborne financial guy, airborne vehicle.
Yes, aviation.
I thought they haven't skimped. I remember thinking, look, they've
Nah.
actually put some resources into this.
Look at
what
the director.
That's what it felt like.
It's really well made.
Apart from the way it's made and the effects and all of that, even just that sort of detail, they didn't really need to have that scene where we see that they're in a jet. I mean, it added something to the movie, but
And I don't know how much a jet costs, as you said, but
if you're skimping, that's the sort of shit you cut.
Yeah.
Are they even flying the jet? Because surely you just take stock like video of the jet, and then you
would
film
think
that
so.
inside a studio.
And then every movie has the same
Yeah.
jet in it.
You would think so.
That's the way to go.
GBO, what do you reckon it did at the Global?
I don't reckon it got the buzz that it deserves.
I don't even remember it being at the cinemas.
No.
Can't have been out there long.
I remember heaps of trailers at the cinemas when I didn't watch this movie.
Right.
But
Okay.
I reckon double it. What's it, 60 million?
60 mil.
Yeah, double it.
I reckon 185.
Okay. Duff pretty much nailed it. 122 mil.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
On the GBO.
Okay.
And I think that's pretty good because I don't think it had a long run.
No.
Yeah.
No.
They'd be happy with
It's
that.
a shame because it is a really good streaming movie, but fuck, it would have been good to watch on the big screen as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've got a fun fact later, but by the sounds of it, it did the bulk of its money in the first couple of days, and then just
we've talked
faded
about that
quickly.
before, yeah.
There might have been some accounting trickery as well, which I'll get into.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Excellent.
I know you love that.
I'm
BJ.
looking forward to this,
Yeah,
Pod.
yeah,
This is like the barefoot investor meets the
There's a lot of
redeemables.
stuff.
Look at us
a lot
go.
of stuff to unpack.
Yeah.
Then next week, you got the barefoot idiot. With no facts.
or investments. The Metacritic was 48. However, the user review from 100,000 ratings on IMDb was 71.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Big swing.
I'm really interested to hear some of the critic reviews because, yeah.
Oh, I'll get to them.
Yeah.
Rated PG for intense action and strong language.
Oh,
Which I don't think it had a lot of F
It wasn't that. I think there was like 2 F words.
Was there F words?
Yeah.
Yeah, there is also that. I think you can
Harbour.
get away with one for a PG, can't you?
Can you? Is there
Yeah.
rules?
Yeah.
You can't say a fucking a PG.
The only way I know is the movie Champions, the Woody Harrelson basketball one.
Is that
I like
PG?
that.
I heard it was fun, but yeah, it was PG, and I heard an interview
thought
with
it
the
was M.
director, and he said they got one fuck.
All right.
And he's like, we wanted to use it for maximum effect. And we
Yeah.
kept thinking, no, but yeah. So that's
I can't remember when they used it.
a
now
little
in
insight
that
into
movie,
how I learnt that possibly not true factoid.
but sounds true to me.
You're welcome, everyone.
And that's what matters.
Don't Google it, please.
Critic reviews. Let's go.
Hit me.
First, we've got Anonymous from The Guardian.
Oh, fucking Anonymous. Now I'm triggered. Or is
It's
it like
like
the
the-
organisation Anonymous?
No,
That's-
no, no. They do movie reviews now. It's all a bit boring in the hacking world.
We're coming for you. We did not like Gran Turismo.
That was really good. So The Guardian, the Anonymous from The Guardian said, interestingly, commerce contaminates the whole endeavour. Gave it 20.
Okay. Right,
Commerce
right.
was definitely there, but I don't think it ruined the whole endeavor.
Don't think it ruined it, but it did.
It's
it was-
noticeable.
It was a lot.
Can I...
But it has to be a lot.
Yeah, because can I say, did they say the same thing about The Big Short or fucking Dumb Money or any of these other things that are about the what I would call like corporate true story type shit?
Yeah, I think.
Because it is essentially, that's the crux of the story.
Yeah, you're
is
right.
It's
So
about
it's-
promotion
okay.
for a fucking game. It's about marketing at its heart, right?
I agree with you. So, yeah, because the other version is when you've got a movie that's not about that, but then has every scene's got
Product
a can of
placement.
Pepsi Max
Pepsi
and everyone's using an Apple MacBook and the
Yeah.
iPhones do this crazy
Yeah.
shit. Yeah, okay, so I'm with you there.
I felt it
It's
was
a
in
game about-
context.
sorry, it's a movie about commerce
Yes.
and marketing.
It really is.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah, yeah.
it's about a marketing campaign.
There you go. Well done.
And you're
Fuck
fucking
you, Anonymous.
Now
You're a
Anonymous are
dickhead.
coming for me.
Yep.
I'll go out, my tyres are down.
You just got Guardian. All right, so next one is from The Telegraph. This is Tim Roby.
Okay.
Tim said, the thrill of the games is matched fleetingly here at best because it feels like a simulator being put through a simulator and not all the effects are up to snuff.
I think they are up to snuff.
Wait a minute. Script-wise, we don't just get Formula 1, but we get Formula 2 through infinity.
Yuck.
What's
I don't
happening?
know what the fuck he's talking about.
What does
there.
that mean?
I don't like anything about
Hey,
that.
I am looking this guy up on Twitter right now to bully the fuck out of him.
Tim
honestly.
Roby, R-O-B-E-Y.
All right. Follow.
And at me into that bullying
Yeah,
because I'll jump on board
Everyone,
as well.
we
What
start a
the
campaign going.
fuck does that mean?
Nothing.
I
That's
don't
the
I want to
thing.
break it down.
Trying to be
it's
smart.
Formula
Within a
1
simulator.
and 2.
I don't know.
It's nothing to do with Formula 1, by the way. Is it?
Yeah,
I
no,
mean, I don't
not-
know one
not
car
at
from
all.
another.
No. It's
but
just
it's
class
not
racing,
Formula
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, okay, we'll
Idiot.
move on.
No, I can't.
Okay,
It really-
Let me
It's
read it
just
again. There
fucking-
is stew in it.
It's just really bothered
You
me.
just marinate in
It's
that.
okay.
What
We're
the-
gonna get
what
Tim
the
online.
fuck is he talking about?
We're gonna get Tim online.
Explain it like I'm a
We're gonna
4-year-old.
We're gonna need to listen.
You know what
to
we're gonna
Google
do?
for us.
We're gonna do it the old-fashioned way. We're gonna bully Tim online
Yeah.
until he starts cutting himself. It's the old-fashioned way.
The old-fashioned way.
No, sometimes bullying's for the best.
You got to break someone.
You got to. How will they know they're in the wrong otherwise?
You got to break them down to build them up.
I'm going to drive to his house and snap his wife's neck. Sorry. I get really bothered when I'm confused.
It's fucking bold of you to assume he's married.
I'd argue we both went too far.
Oh, she's not up to snuff.
Isn't snuff the tobacco that you sniff?
Several things, but that's why
I've seen it.
And the snuff movie?
Yeah, 8mm Nick Cage.
Yep.
All right, next review is...
Save that for the outtakes.
We've had this guy before. It's Big Mick Lascelles.
Oh,
Big Mick from the San Francisco Chronicle.
Yeah.
He's in our... Anytime we do a modern film, like as in the last 5-10 years, he's
around.
He's around.
He's going to see movies.
He's like a modern-day negative arsehole.
Yeah, good for him.
So he gave it 25. He said Gran Turismo is just the same cars going around and around and around and around.
That is what racing is, fella.
I also think that the cars, like, it's part of the movie, but it wasn't like that heavy. Like, it was, if you broke down the time, it would be like 25% of the movie's cars.
Yeah.
If that.
Yeah.
20%.
I think it's like 40%, but
of the actual racing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's
fucking. Man, there's only like 3 races. They go for like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
But I am not into cars whatsoever or
Me
racing
neither.
at all, and I definitely didn't think there was too much of that.
Nah.
Yeah, didn't care.
It sounds to me like a couple of these people went in just dying to hate this movie.
You're kidding me.
Yeah.
You're telling me a critic's gone in to have a really negative opinion.
I've just
of something
realised
to get more
that.
clicks.
This is
Is that what you're
episode
saying?
103.
Yeah.
It's just dawned on me.
Just clicking. All right, last one is Odie Henderson from the Boston Globe.
Oh, Garfield's friend.
Odie. Fucking sick.
Great name, Odie.
He hates Mondays and loves lasagna.
He also gave it 25, and he said the film's visual look is as inert as its screenplay, and its attempts to make the real racing scenes look like Gran Turismo gameplay by overlaying the game's graphics with live footage fall embarrassingly flat. Disagree.
100% disagree.
I thought that was one
Like
of the coolest things in the movie.
The first scene when he's like an imaginary car and he's in the fucking thing.
Yep.
Loved it.
And it morphs into
Yeah.
him, right? Yeah.
Dude.
Tell me this, BJ, before... Well, that's the end of the critics, so we'll
Yeah.
get into the conversation now. But before we do that, I imagine you've never played Gran Turismo?
I think I might have, but
Okay. Like one of the old ones on like PS1
probably
or
a
whatever?
Time Zone.
Daytona.
One. Yeah. Oh, I know Daytona.
I don't think it's ever been a Time Zone game.
Nah,
it's a console
Then I have
game.
not.
No.
It's always PlayStation.
No,
Yeah.
I hocked my console for drugs.
So and that was just last week. So
How much did you get for your PS1?
and it was me that bought it off him.
It's about that dirt weed too, dude.
So what you probably didn't appreciate based on that last negative review is that stuff where they overlap the drive line and things like that, that's a homage to the game.
Got it all.
So
100%.
they basically, I think I'll go out on a limb here, I'm not a big racing game guy, but I'm pretty sure Gran Turismo started that, like the racing line thing.
Okay.
And now all other games, like they tells you when to brake, tells you which line to kind of drive
they've
the car
dumbed it
on.
down.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you can turn all that shit off if you're a pro.
Yeah.
I know my mates that play it, they leave it on. That was for them.
No, I got all of that.
Okay.
Even without knowing
knowing
it. It was pretty
Well,
obvious.
sorry for mansplaining.
I'm just pretty used to it.
I think that whole scene with his dad, like, kind
Right
of
on me,
explained the racing line and stuff as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also are we just into general discussion?
Yeah,
fuck
fuck
it.
hit me.
One of the best things about it was that exact thing. I just fucked my mic up. Hang on, we're back.
You're good.
Yeah, was that exact thing. And they did it right from the very first couple of shots where they had the low shots which mimic the game. And then
Where you're like in the cockpit, in the bedroom or whatever.
yeah,
Or
even when
whatever
they
it is,
showed the
yeah.
racing initially.
Yeah.
And then
Oh, I see what you're saying.
yeah,
sorry.
like it was the
So
same
you
point
start
of view
from within the
Yeah,
car
and it was
as
the
you
point
would
of view of
be.
the game.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then the bit you mentioned before, where the schematic of the car appears in front of him when he starts. I'd
So
forgotten
cool.
about that. And then
Yeah.
when it envelopes him in 3, like
Oh,
So cool.
awesome,
beautiful, man.
And then towards the end when he's in the final race, they reverse it.
Yes.
and it dissolves around him, and he's back in his
He's back
console
in
in
his
his bedroom.
cockpit.
And I'm like, fucking wicked.
It was
That's
so
sick.
clever, man.
Yeah.
Like to juxtapose the simulation over the racing. Like I just thought that
That was a
beautiful.
great idea, and
Yeah,
it
it
worked
really
really, really
was,
well.
yeah.
And he used the word inert, which
Yep.
I'm not 100% sure what that means, but usually it means like
Bad.
not moving and boring, right?
Yeah.
Completely disagree. I think that all of that stuff added something a little bit different and a bit of flair. to it.
Totally agree. Because without it, it's a lot of racing. Yeah, as in like
It's a lot of complaining
cars
with
going
dad. It's a
around.
lot of fighting with the family and then having a race. And
Yeah. I totally agree. I really liked the intro because what it did is it made the film completely accessible for everybody.
Yep.
So it didn't matter whether you played the game before, whether you even knew what the fucking game was.
Yep.
The opening, it was an interesting choice because it was basically a 5-minute documentary to introduce the film.
Yeah,
It was great.
'Cause it was like the maker of the game. I forget his name now.
Mr. Nissan.
Might have been. That's racist. But it was like it's a little mini documentary, and it kind of set up the whole movie.
Yeah,
and then for people that aren't gamers or whatever, you know what the fuck Gran Turismo was, like, oh cool, I'm in. This sounds great.
It also verified that they're going to try and take this seriously. It's not going to be a video game movie.
Yeah.
No, but
Okay.
in saying that though, they still did the video game stuff, which
They
was
ha-
cool,
they
like we
have
were just
to-
talking about.
Yeah, they have to do that though,
Yeah.
but
They
it
paid-
wasn't a huge part of it.
No.
That was just a fucking cool scene every
Yeah.
time they did it.
It was just to go, hey, we know who's watching this first.
Yep.
And it's probably going to be the GT guys and the
Yep.
racing guys. And so we're going to put some cool shit in it for you guys. But then this is a widely accessible kind
I
of thing.
needed that explanation because I
Right.
know of Gran Turismo. Obviously, like
Yep.
I
all
was
heard of
raised Amish, but I've seen it at a Blockbuster when I was younger. So I know what it is, obviously, but I had no idea of the history of it and how actually accurate it was to the driving experience.
it's
and all that
so
sort of shit.
accurate. It's
So
crazy.
if they skip that, and all of a sudden we're in a competition where someone's going from, I would be thinking it would be like driving in the Daytona game.
Yeah.
So we've gone from Mario Kart and Daytona to being a racing car driver. The leap there wouldn't even if you told me it was based on a true story, I'd still be like, bullshit.
Yeah.
I want to see a movie where they get professional Mario Kart races.
They're throwing turtles at each other.
Have you fucking seen this in one of the guys at work got back from Tokyo? And he did it so that you can hire Mario Kart carts and you whip around the streets in Tokyo. In like a line with all the other Mario Kart carts.
They fully do that.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, he showed me
I think my brother-in-law did it.
Showed me a video. It's beautiful. Anyway,
Keen.
that was just a side note. I thought that was fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was cool. The other bit of the intro I liked, the setup of the film was with Orlando Bloom when he's pitching the whole idea to the execs. He's literally pitching the plot of the film to you.
Yes.
And he's going, are you guys at home into this idea that I'm pitching to these execs?
Yeah.
Because if you are, this is actually one of the greatest little setups for a film that I could possibly think of.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I'm pitching this, but pitching it to you. And if you're not in by that point, just turn the movie off.
Yeah.
You know what you're about to watch.
Yeah. So from my point of view, the script wasn't the highlight, right? Like it wasn't zinging or anything.
Nah.
But what they did really well was establishing characters.
Yeah.
Oh, characters was huge.
And we knew Orlando Bloom. We were introduced to him when he's like we find out. He's a bit of a renegade in the marketing corporate world.
He's got long hair.
Yeah,
So he must be a
he rips
renegade.
off his shirt and the company. He's got a couple of tats. He's pretty well cut. He's a bit dishevelled. He's obviously running a bit late. He's got this fucking crazy idea. But then we're thrown straight into him pitching the idea to the executives. And what I really liked is we didn't need to see the backstory of how that idea was born. I think too many movies attempted to see for the light bulb moment, the eureka moment about changing the destiny of the companies, or these two companies essentially, I guess.
Yeah.
Whoever makes Gran Turismo, I'm assuming it's PlayStation.
It might be.
And Nissan, I assume both benefited greatly out of this marketing scheme that he came up with.
Surely.
But even though that's the crux of the movie, we didn't need the origin story of that.
No.
And I appreciate
Didn't want
that.
it.
We're right into it as you
Yeah,
said.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably would have been pretty boring, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like if they did all that.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah,
Let's
been
just
a
get to the
boring.
racing is
Yeah,
what
yeah,
most
yeah.
people would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, or at least the story about
Yeah.
the racing.
Yeah. And then we got that with pretty much every character.
Yep.
They did a really good job.
Quick
we
intro.
And they did a really good job of establishing even like, and they obviously hammered it because it was the emotional crux of the film.
Yep.
But the parent gamer kid connection.
Yeah, that was huge.
I have zero experience with that, but I assume that's what it's like. Like, please go and touch grass.
Yeah, go and do
And then,
something
you don't
else.
get me. You don't understand me. You know, like. Yeah. What I did relate to was the "you'll never amount to nothing" parenting style.
Oh, that's
we all got that. I grew up with that.
And here we are.
Made me the man I am today.
Just touching on Orlando Bloom, I thought his character was fucking sick.
Yeah.
He was like
he was cool.
a slimy fucking car salesman type dude, but he was an actual good dude.
Yes.
So it's
He
really
was
hard
passionate.
to nail that character.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Because if you make him too much of a dick, like all these movies have a bad guy.
Yep.
And when I first watched it, I thought, Orlando Bloom's going to try and fuck him over somehow, but he doesn't.
Nah.
Ends up being a good. It puts a trust in him. He does.
There's one moment he tried to,
Yeah, but it's more of a.
Who's the marketing guy? He's just trying to make money.
Yeah, you can all. Yeah,
But I thought he was actually a really cool character.
Yeah,
I agree. It was good, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they could have made that guy, as you said, they could have made him unlikable.
Yeah,
if
and
they
I
wanted to.
didn't want that in this movie.
Nah.
Like, I cried twice in this movie.
Yeah.
I very nearly did. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
I
We'll get
welled
to
up.
that. Yeah.
I welled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure a tear broke the eyelid,
Right.
but it was definitely.
It's okay to
there was
admit.
there was moisture gathering.
There was moisture getting, and in your eyes as well.
Yeah, I had the happy slow cry, like,
Just one single tear.
and someone walks into the room and I throw a pillow at them and something's in my eye.
It's a high pollen count. Yeah, no, I think they did really good. I like they gave us the context of the family dynamic, which was important again to the story. Really quickly,
Agreed.
it was almost like a
was
couple
the
of
heart.
scenes of the family.
Yep.
We probably didn't necessarily need the taking the parents' car scene, but that was to introduce us to the girlfriend.
I think it was, and to explain he's a fucking good dude.
That's what. Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he-
fair. Okay.
Jan's a good dude.
I
Yeah.
liked that. I
Yeah.
thought it would. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
sets up the whole. I don't know. There's a bit with the brother, and it just showed what he was like.
And it
Yeah.
showed,
I
like,
it was just 5 minutes.
Wasn't a big fan of his brother myself.
No.
then he goes to work and it's not for him, and
Yeah.
Yep.
his dad,
Yeah.
for some reason, just gets to hire his son, and then he quits on day one.
I don't think he was being paid. I'm pretty sure he was.
No, he was there. He was teaching him a life lesson.
No
I
training.
thought the dialogue there was really good.
Yeah, it
No
was
training.
because it was like, as I said, like the whole disappointed dad thing was really driven home.
Real
not
world.
too much, but it was driven home.
This is real world. This is
Yeah.
where you end up.
Yeah.
If
This is
you
where
don't
you
go
end
back
up.
to school.
I thought that speech was great.
It paid off when, without jumping too far down the film,
Yeah.
all of that, even though it felt they were hammering it home, there's no doubt about it. I didn't get sick of it or anything. I didn't think it was overdone, but they were
Yeah.
definitely pushing it. It was to pay off for that speech before the final race.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
And it might have been when I welled up a little bit.
Oh, man.
Oh, 100%.
Mine was the hug when he hugged his dad up.
The hug.
I'm proud of you.
when the dad sees the fucking
the photos.
on the helmet, what is it? Fucking bird or
his
something?
Bluebird
dad's-
or some shit?
It's to do with his soccer team.
Yeah,
His
his
dad's
soccer team. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he must have
So-
played for the Northwich Bluebirds.
No, I think it was.
And it wasn't soccer; it was Quidditch.
You know, it was one of the only qualms I had with the movie was the dad bit. Not Digimon himself; he was spectacular as
incredible.
always. But it was like the dad didn't believe in him whatsoever,
Yeah.
and he only believed in him once he had already achieved. And I had a problem with that because I was like, because you like the dad in a way, don't you?
The dad has
You
no
like him
idea
because
about
he's Digimon.
Like, what are the chances of playing a video game and then turning into that video game character?
I
If I was Digimon, I would be fucking a bit like, nah, you need a job, motherfucker.
That's why he says. That's why the speech was so effective before the final race. Because he
Yeah.
says so many parents
Yeah.
are in this situation.
Yeah, yeah.
And their kids are fucking losers.
Yeah.
And you turned out to be the one in a billion that's not a loser. How
Yeah.
was I to know?
Yeah.
It's-
And
So
I
I've
get
got-
what you're saying.
yeah.
Yeah. How is it? But
But I think he's always been proud of him, and I think that's why he looks out for him so much and like tries to push him towards going back to school. He doesn't want him to end up like he
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
He's trying to get him back to school, which in itself is a different avenue and can get success, I imagine.
Can I give you an alternative opinion?
No.
So if Digimon had paid attention to Yan and his racing, he would have known that his son's, and he was actually included in his hobbies, he would have known that his son is like the best racer in if not the world, right? He's a top 10 online racer in the world.
Yeah.
And in 2016, you can make a lot of money doing that. You can make millions now.
Yeah, but
back then you could. Yeah, you fuel.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when he was 20 or something, he didn't know about that
No,
shit.
I know.
And he still doesn't know about
Let
it.
me do my alternative opinion.
Okay.
What I'm telling you is if he could have invested his time into learning his son's hobbies and learning what his son loved,
Yeah.
and therefore he would have known
That he's
that
elite.
his son's actually fucking brilliant, and therefore I do believe in my own son.
Yeah.
So I know this is just a character thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm just saying it was one of the only problems I had with the movie was the fact that we were quick and Yan was quick to forgive his dad for never believing in him.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and it was the only thing I
I
was
don't
like,
disagree.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't disagree. I think the thing is, though, like,
I'll probably
the
do it to
harder
my
part-
own kids once.
Get off the Xbox, you fucking nerd!
the thing is there, though, even, like, to me, even if you said his top 10 in the world,
Yep.
the surprise to me is that means anything other than prestige among the online community.
Well done.
Do the research.
You're the king of the nerds.
Do the research.
Yeah, but
Google
why
it.
is he not leveraging it at that point? Like he literally had to wait for this Orlando Bloom to come up with this harebrained marketing scheme for it to eventuate like it's...
Interesting question. I don't know. Maybe there wasn't. Maybe 2016 wasn't the right time. Maybe it was 2-3 years after that where you could start making money, but I don't know. I would have thought...
Follow-up question. There's an online game called NBA Grids, and I'm regularly in the top 10 in the world.
Yeah.
Am I sitting on millions? Or is my special skill of 90s...
No one's watching you play Grids.
So no one gives a fuck who Lester Connor is.
You can't get a sponsorship for the gear you're wearing.
Damn it. So close. Close to glory.
So that was that was really the only.
No, you make a fair point. I don't totally disagree.
Did you think the brother and the mum were underutilized?
Just right.
Just right? Because
Yeah.
I didn't need to be. It was more about the relationship with his dad.
It was the dad, because the mum was just being a mum.
Yeah.
The mum's let him do his thing.
Yeah. And for a Spice Girl, she was good.
Yeah,
It's pretty.
Yeah, she was good.
She did pretty well.
I had a good back to things that I really liked.
Holy shit! Was that ginger spice?
It is.
One of the spices.
Shut your fucking
It's in my
mouth!
fun facts.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
It's in my fun facts because she's married to
Christian Horner,
who's team principal for Red Bull F1 Racing.
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's all tight. Well, maybe not
Yeah.
anymore, but
It's all awkward.
it's all kind of tied in with Racing World.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
assume they did that on
Yeah.
purpose, just to bring in more racing fans.
Honestly, the pinnacle of her
Link
career is when she says, "These lentils are quite nice."
Because she's not a known actress, is she?
Not at all, I don't
Nah.
think. Well, yeah, I haven't followed her career until like 2 weeks ago when I
Yeah.
saw it pop up on the
I don't
news.
know.
I was
I
like,
think she's in a few movies, but I don't
Yeah.
think she's like. Yeah,
she holds her own.
She's
She's
in
like-
Spice World.
they didn't put her in there for nothing. They
No.
put her in there because of her link to racing. I would
Right.
have thought.
yeah, she doesn't
would've
have a lot to work. Spice World. She doesn't have a lot to work with, but she does well. She does fine.
Yeah, she's good.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, she just has to be like a fucking worried mum.
I had a really fun. Yeah, I had a really funny.
I can play ginger.
I had a funny moment that I like laughed out loud at this, and I don't know whether it was meant to be really funny, but it's when he's telling his friend at the party about Gran Turismo. So he's like his lady friend that he's just when they go to the party and light the fire or whatever early on, and he's telling her about Gran Turismo. She calls it a game, and he's like. Technically, it's not a game. It's a racing simulator.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah, it just really
Nerd.
got me.
You know what? That's when her
because-
vagina healed over.
Yeah, I know. And I was laughing because I was like, I've definitely said shit like this to my wife before.
Oh no!
Like, I'll be playing like an Xbox game, and she'll be like, "You're playing little games," and I'll be like, "Okay, it's not a game; it's a fucking war simulator." And if I'm not playing this, then which one of us is prepared when the fucking apocalypse comes? Okay, I know how to use an M416. Do you? Get the fuck out while I play my war simulation.
Turns back on Halo.
Turns back on the Sims. but yeah, I just found it
references.
really funny, man.
Yeah,
Like
that was,
whole
right,
line,
yeah.
It's more of a simulator. Like,
was
shut
well
up,
done.
nerd. Shut up, you fucking virgin.
She's like, I'm the Sahara. She's like, well, I'm the Sahara over here.
Exactly. So that gave me a giggle.
Yeah, it was well done.
Yeah.
Actually, and a huge shout out to our boy Jan, the actor who played him, because he managed to pull that sort of stuff off so well.
Really good. It
great,
wasn't
yeah.
annoying. Like it was a bit angsty, but I didn't come across angsty.
So he bothered me in, I know he was meant to, but he really bothered me in Saltburn.
Yeah.
He was just a fucking smart. I just wanted to punch him in
On
his
what?
fucking face. He's in
Saltburn.
Saltburn. He's
No
one of the-
spoilers. I'm gonna watch it.
Oh, really?
He's probably the fourth or fifth main. He's quite a decent partner.
Yeah.
But he's just
Very different character.
So different. He's
Yeah.
a smug, arrogant prick.
Which is written to be.
conniving and deceived. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But just aren't
well,
they
he
all?
was in Midsummer as well.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
like not as big a part.
I'm always surprised the first time
Oh
he speaks.
fuck!
Yeah.
It was in Midsummer.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
in quite a few. I'll get to him in cast. He's in quite a few things, and I was like, oh shit, he was. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
reaction.
he's
He
got
was-
he's the reverse Mike Tyson. Like every time he speaks, I go, "Whoa!" Yeah. His dad walks, he goes, "Well, I'm playing Gran Turismo," and I'm like, "I did not expect him to sound like that."
Yeah.
yeah, good for him, I guess.
What else we got? The sets I thought were cool.
Yes.
So the training venue where they have the kind of fight out to see who's going to make it through.
Really cool.
Thought that was cool. Yeah, and that I believe was the replica of the actual one they had
still
for
the
this
same.
in real life.
Why don't they just use the real one?
Yeah,
Well, they
maybe
should-
it was.
Yeah.
I'd have to double check that.
You think they'd have access?
Because at the end credits, they showed like everything where it was actually it looked pretty similar.
Yeah. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Tell you what I loved
Full
about this
build
movie.
set. And
Fucking montage after montage.
I know.
I love
Yeah.
it, man.
Yeah.
I love fucking
I was
montages.
thinking, I was thinking Duff's in his
like,
element.
it's like 6 montages, and I'm like,
They were good montages.
Great montages.
And they weren't
Perfect
too much.
paced,
Yep.
perfect coverage of time. I don't want to. I like a montage that isn't 5 years, that flies by in 45 seconds.
Hey, if you got a 12-week training program, let's make a montage and get rid of a few extra characters. Fucking just eliminated.
One of my things. Did they have to be so savage initially? Like the guy crashes and they're pretty much like, "Fuck off!" Yeah. At least the second guy.
Harbour's not there to mess around. He's not messing around.
But but even Orlando Bloom was like, "Yeah, fuck off." At least the second time, as the guy's moping off, Orlando Bloom goes, "Oh, wait up. Here, have a cap and a shirt."
That's so fucking
You know what
funny.
happens? In Le Mans, Juan cramps and they have to pull his fucking cramping body out of the fucking vehicle. I was waiting for them to give him a cap and a shirt and tell him to fuck off. I was like, you fucked it. And
Wasn't it the other guy
Here's a
that...
Le Mans t-shirt.
Wasn't the other guy that cramped?
Juan, sorry.
Juan
Riddell.
Riddell.
Yeah, Juan.
Yan.
No,
Juan
was the other
Antonio.
racer.
Oh, sorry.
Was Juan...
It was the three
She had
races.
Juan and Yan.
Yeah, Juan and Yan.
Yeah.
Who was Ying?
That was the Asian one.
Of course, I like the needle drops.
Yes.
As I mentioned during the Damies.
It was a lot of the same song as
They
well.
played
wasn't it?
Paranoid a few times, yeah.
You know what? It was Neil Bockenkamp and
Blomkamp.
Bockenhampen. His handprints are all over this movie. You look at District 9 as well. It's fucking music in the background stuff.
Yeah.
And of course,
All over
Chappie. There was heaps of music in that.
Yeah.
Well, it was done, but the whole soundtrack was basically done by those rappers that you love, BJ.
Yeah.
Your favorite,
Back in the news.
favorite rap duo.
In fact, do not Google them. They're back in the
really?
news. Oh, yeah.
They've been cancelled.
Again, they've been double cancelled.
I'm going to have to have a look into
So
that.
many times.
Sorry. Man, they're in... Dude, honestly.
You saying I can't uncancel it?
This one's bad.
Oh, no.
They're up to no good, man.
They didn't do something with dogs, did they?
No, it depends what you call a dog. Anyway.
I think you can come back from it, as long as there's nothing with dogs.
Like Michael Vick.
Oh, he's not coming back. No, I'm not cancelling him.
He's like,
You fuck with dogs? You're it. That's it. I won't bring you back.
you're John Wickenham. No, also, I love the trope, and it's a classic trope, but the needle drop, the song that turns into the song that the character's listening to.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
So Sabbath, and then you realise it's just a huge part of his life is just listening to Sabbath.
Yeah,
It's the only thing that gives
on
you the
his,
same feeling as racing.
Yeah.
What, did you have a was it a cassette Walkman?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
Was it?
like an
cassette,
old
yeah,
school
yeah.
Walkman.
Had one back in the day.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Who didn't?
Fuck, they chewed up batteries.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe.
You had to carry a spare set
Oh,
in your
man.
backpack. Yeah.
You had
Do you remember
a
the-
backpack full of batteries?
The portable CD players.
Yeah.
I had mine for 2 weeks and then it got fucking melted in my car.
I had mine for years. I wrapped it in a tea towel so it wouldn't bounce too much when I skated.
Yeah, so it wouldn't skip.
Yeah, I was listening to Fear Factory and
What
skating.
They used to call it anti-shock.
Oh, I couldn't afford it.
Anti-shock. If you had anti-shock, which had a big rubber thing around it,
You're
and
good.
it wouldn't skip,
I
man.
made my own with a tea towel.
Yeah, a couple $100
It was like the MacGyver of Discman.
Or just the
I just
poor
wrapped it-
person with a
just
Discman,
wrapped
really.
it in a tea towel.
The
Stole off a homeless guy.
Trailer park Discman.
Also, apart from the needle drops, the score was good. So
Yeah.
the actual use of the songs, what this movie did really well, building tension and building emotion.
Yep.
And the score was a big part of that as well.
Yeah.
I only watched this like 5 or 6 weeks ago.
I was the same, yeah.
And
Watched
it's-
it back to back, quite close together.
Super rare that I would watch a movie.
I actually did the same thing
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
I watched it at least 6 weeks ago.
I think maybe, did I watch it and then say, you guys should definitely check that out?
can't remember,
I
but
feel
yeah.
like I might have put it in a WhatsApp
Yeah.
group or something. Like
Yeah,
I just
take
watched
the
a banger.
credit either way, it's fine.
No, not about that. But just as in we all watched it in the same week, basically.
Yeah, I think we did. Yeah.
Yeah.
When as soon as it was free on streaming,
Yeah.
because I was just waiting for it to.
I think that's what it was.
Yep. Or
Popped up on
$5.99.
Amazon.
I'm just not paying the same amount to rent it as to buy it. I'm
No, that's
sorry.
fair.
I know what you're doing,
I
Disney.
understand.
Fucking see what you're doing.
I understand.
I'm not falling for it.
What,
Now I'm angry.
what did we think about? Wait, were you going somewhere then?
No, just the score. I just really enjoyed the
Oh
way.
yeah, sorry. The end,
I also liked it.
the powerful piece of music at the end as he's coming third in Le Mans or whatever, like the final race.
Yeah.
and there's some piano over the top of some really kind of epic orchestral type stuff.
All the way through.
It was really
Yeah.
moving.
And there
It
was
stirring.
some more electronic stuff as well.
Yeah.
Also, I want to point out, do you know how many people don't realise that the emotional crescendo of this movie and everything that makes us cheer and well up at the end is them coming third?
Yeah.
That's a success of a movie. If you've made us invested enough that we're actually cheering and carrying on because they came third. And I mentioned it to people at work, and they're like, "No, they won." I was like, "No,
Third.
they came third."
They never won.
Yeah.
Yeah, other than the very first race to get his license or whatever it was.
Yeah.
No, not to get his license, to get into the tournaments.
Yes.
That was the only time he won.
Yep.
The whole film, the rest of it was 4th, 8th, 3rd.
Fucking
whatever.
loser. Make a movie about someone who wins something.
But no, to your point though, you fucking like I had the same thing written down.
Yeah.
Like the way they were able to build that much emotional investment, they're not winning.
No.
But you knew just by watching that 5-minute documentary at the start of the film, and the fact that this was based on a true story.
Yeah.
You knew that what he was achieving was ridiculous.
Yes, that's the whole point. Yeah.
And so before you ask what's true and what's not, all of that shit's true.
Yeah, okay.
So as in where he positioned in those races, it's all real.
Right.
Like he did actually do that shit. Like he got his license by coming 4th in all that race. He came 3rd in Le Mans for his class of car.
Yeah,
like,
right.
It was just all of it's real.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if
Wild story.
if they made him come first, it then tips over and it goes, that's not believable. Let me Google that.
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't. You've just
came
ruined the
third.
credibility.
Agree.
Of the film.
Agree. Yeah.
Yeah. So really smart decision,
Yeah,
I thought.
it's such a fucking crazy story that it's sort of stretching the bounds of
It's unbelievable.
credibility as it is.
Yeah.
If you hadn't have told me it's based on a true story, I'd probably be like, fun movie, never going to happen.
Yeah. I still can't fucking believe it happened.
It's crazy.
I'm still rattled, man. I've told so many people to watch this movie because I just had such a good time.
Yep.
And I go, you're not going to believe it, but trust me, 90% of it's real.
Yeah.
So I Googled it after I watched it the first time
Okay.
and then re-Googled for the podcast. So the only thing that, the bit where you'd go, I doubt that happened, was where he killed a man.
Yes.
Where his car flips
did
and
he?
killed. Yes.
Yeah.
But the only difference is it happened years later. So
okay.
Yan goes on. Yan's still racing.
Yep.
So he actually built a racing career.
He's still
off
going,
this.
yeah.
Doesn't care
He was
about
a stunt driver.
Yeah.
Life is cheap to you.
He was the stunt driver in some of this. Yeah.
Yeah, that was so cool.
So he did kill a man with a. Well, didn't fucking kill a man on purpose,
but it was
he
at a bar.
crashed
Just with his band, ripped his throat out.
But no, he crashed his car and it flipped and it killed a guy in the crowd. And I think he didn't race for 12 months or 9 months or something like that because he couldn't come to grips with it.
That was such a fucking emotional part of the movie.
It's huge. Yeah. So they wanted to add some more. They needed that part of the movie.
Every movie
the
needs it.
conflict where it's like, I'm going to walk away.
Yes.
You know, something terrible's happened.
It's
and
a
whatever.
sport movie.
It's a sports
It needs
movie.
to have it.
Yeah, it's a
Every
sports
journey, every movie narrative arc along the journey needs its we must overcome moment.
Yeah.
There's always going to be something that they need to overcome for us to
Cheer them on a bit more.
100%. And this was believable, and I was invested. The actual scene of the crash itself got me.
Was stunning.
His parents watching it. I don't know how
His
any
parents.
parent.
That's when I cried.
Yeah,
that was
when
my
his dad
first tear.
stands up and says, "Is that his car?"
Yeah.
I'm it's getting me
Like
now.
the mum's there, and then you actually see the dad sitting down. It's like he's pretty invested right now. So
Yeah.
but that crash.
And he's like, the first time I ever watch he crashes, I'm never watching again.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can't. I kind of think about that when I like the main sport I watch is Australian rules footy, and I think that all the time when a player gets fucking knocked out, like the one on the weekend, with Mason Wood.
Don't worry,
Like,
they'll show it over and over and over and over.
But
again.
I have that same feeling that the like, not that these are my kids, but it's just like I feel so bad for the wife, for the parents, for the kids, for some of these players watching, and just seeing their dad or their mum or whatever just get knocked out, convulsing on the ground.
And
this
my
would have been
kids
the same
hate
thing.
seeing me.
Can you imagine being his drug dealer?
when you take your kids to the pub
and I just knock some random out.
Very good.
So you're right. I don't know how any parent does it, but just that how simple it is. The fact that again that they've pulled this feat off by making us invested in this movie and the emotion that we're feeling for it. Just that one line, he just stands up and fucking Dujamon was cooking this whole movie.
Oh fuck, he was good.
And he stands up and he just says, like, Spice Girl's just falling apart, and he just says, "Is that his car?" And you just, I was just
I got goosebumps.
Yeah, just as a punch in the guts.
Yeah.
They did it, and
so dramatic.
They
really well done.
They also didn't need to belabor that too long. Like we got enough of that whole he's going to struggle and is he going to overcome this, and then the moment where he does overcome
his mentor comes in, tells him how much he wasted his whatever.
Then he just grabbed him and took him away.
Super fortuitous that he had a mentor that also killed a man.
Yes.
Worked out great for him.
Yes.
Also, when he took him to the track to finish the rest of his lap, shouldn't they have been driving a Nissan? He was in a Porsche. Because
I noticed that.
I was like,
unless Nissan had bought Porsche out, who knows?
Imagine that. Imagine being Nissan watching the final cut and being like, "Yo, you couldn't have driven a fucking Skyline." I
We gave you all of this.
That's made by Nissan, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, it is. Well done.
Pulsar.
Another good one. A Pajero.
Boom.
Yeah, thanks. That's kind of
Can we talk about David Harbour? Like,
Yes.
he was fucking great as a
he's
grizzled
really
mentor.
good
I
character.
love a fucking grizzled mentor.
Yes, me too. Curmudgeon-y mentor.
a
With
very
demons.
well written character.
Just like his fuck you moment to the actual
Yep.
the thing and like
Yeah.
yeah. It's,
I love a reluctant mentor who you know is gonna develop the bond with their protege.
a mentor who's not actually believing in this can actually work. So
I'm gonna
that's,
prove
I
you
think that's
can't.
why he's so harsh. He's not cutting these people. He's saving their lives.
Yeah, he doesn't. He just doesn't
Yeah.
believe it's going to work.
And
And
then
nor
when
should he.
he
Nor
said-
should anyone.
When he
It's
finds out
ridiculous.
Jan was pressing the brake, he was like, "Oh shit,
Yeah.
this kid's on."
Yeah,
What was
good-
it?
that
The
a
brakes
ma-
were glazed.
The glaze.
Is that like a ham?
Yeah, someone's put
You don't do that?
ham glaze on the brakes.
Bit of pineapple.
and his hand slipped. His foot slipped.
Makes sense.
And the glaze.
I don't know. Is that illegal?
Yeah.
It's against the
kinda.
rules. You can't glaze another man's brakes.
It's like putting chili on a horse's ass.
Sounds like
before
a real.
race.
It's like giving a horse a bit of coke before a race.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not technically
That's what
illegal.
killed Fowler.
That was it. The only other thing I thought was cool was the actual ending itself, where it juxtaposed the real life events, overlaid them with the how it actually.
I
played out.
love a
And
true
the-
story that does it.
Yan's character and the real Yan kind of morph into one another while they're sitting in the bedroom and whatever.
So the first time that they did
very
that,
cool.
to my knowledge, was real subtle. Was when he was celebrating.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we only got like 1 or 2 frames of the real Yan, and then
Yes.
it went away for quite a while because I was expecting it to be repeated a little bit.
Towards the end, yeah.
The way they did it, also the fact that the reveal of the photo of little Yan with the car, the racing car,
Yes.
Yeah.
that had featured a few times.
was
throughout the
actually
movie,
him.
actually being
Great.
the real guy.
That's so
Fucking
great.
nuts.
Awesome. Loved it. I loved hearing the real story. Thought it was really interesting, though, that they gave us all those facts about him, but not his win-loss record. That told us everything we needed to know there. He doesn't win a lot.
No,
I don't think these drivers do win a lot.
I don't think they need to. I think you.
I
Can make
mean,
a good
you
living
look at
off coming
Formula
I
One.
reckon I could. I've watched the movie now. I reckon
Formula One, there's 20 cars in these races that could be up to like 30, 35.
There you go.
Right.
And if you start at the back, good luck.
Good
All
luck
right,
to you.
so start at the front, dickhead.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
Jesus, how hard is it?
I figured it out.
Yeah.
Just
Start at
on the
front.
formation lap, just go right to the front.
You got anything else, BJ?
I got heaps. I reckon David Harbour's big speech, back to David Harbour, sorry,
Yep.
was really, really good. I thought that it was really interesting when they're unloading the Le Mans plane, out of the car out of the plane, and he's like, this car is faster and lighter than any you've ever driven before.
Yep.
And Jan's like, last time I drove, I killed a man.
Got anything slower?
Can I get some experience
And
in this?
heavier?
Yeah. I thought that was a bit risky.
You know what it needed? Montage of them figuring out the car.
Ooh,
Just 2 minutes.
yeah.
I'm not asking for much.
And then I've got sort of a bunch of sort of random things that I thought were really cool. I love the savage asshole mechanics.
Oh, I fucking hated them.
Really?
Oh, just like an old geezer fucking met
you were meant
100
to, yeah.
times.
I thought it was
Fuck off.
hilarious, eh?
They were perfect for that role, as in like you had to have those people.
And
They're
you knew they were
non-believers.
going to be cheering
They're
for him later on.
non-believers. Yeah.
I love fucking Harbour getting in there and doing the tyre than telling that guy to always have a spare.
Can you imagine how you would feel though as one of those mechanics or one of those other racers, and you just see this guy fucking come into your world that literally was 6 months ago was in his own bedroom with a
Hasn't done any
wheel?
go-karting, hasn't
Nothing,
done
man.
any of the junior
and then he comes
stuff.
in and he starts winning,
Yeah.
or at least beating a lot.
Do we
of
know if they
For a
started
big
the Twitter
team.
campaign? Was this real that they started a campaign against him? Have we got any notes on that? Because
I don't know about that.
It was such
I
a
would be
side note.
surprised.
I reckon it would have been real.
Yeah.
to say that he was a danger out there or unsafe. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's kind of what they said
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. They don't care if they're losing, right? Like they're never a danger when they're losing.
I would say that's probably real, but I didn't come across that. Sorry.
Yeah. I thought it was funny when they were like, you crashed, go, here's a hat and a shirt, fuck off.
Yeah.
Conversely, I also thought I'm not sure it was so believable that they were so happy when he won and when he qualified. Was it just because he beat the arsehole? Like they were spraying champagne.
Who was so
The other gamers.
Oh.
Sorry. So when he qualified,
Yeah,
when
because he was the nice guy.
Yeah, but don't gamers like throw their console and complain and cry and
I think
smash
they,
the TV? I've
it's
never seen them.
It's a 12-week program. I think you'd get
to
a
know
few
him.
bonds there. Yeah.
Yeah,
be like being-
And that guy wasn't there to make friends. So
It was just because he was an arsehole.
he wasn't an actual arsehole. He just was a bit arrogant.
Yes.
Wasn't a regular gamer. Like these are all fucking nerds,
Yeah.
and nerds need friends.
He was the cool gamer. I thought Kenny G was a funny choice. I enjoyed
I
that.
thought that was brilliant.
That was real. That was Yan in real
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
Was a Kenny G.
Said that in the
and-
credits.
and
And then,
guy.
yeah, what's funny about that is Kenny G was just...
sail away, sail away, sail away.
Kenny G was like a pop culture punchline for so long.
Oh, yeah.
And I hadn't heard him, and then to bring it back, I thought that was really cool. I thought more events should kick off with commandos abseiling out of military helicopters.
Oh, that's
100%.
fucking sick.
100%. Let's start the footy on the weekends with commandos dropping out of
The
helicopters.
French are so dramatic, hey?
Because the cricket did that with David Warner.
They just pushed him.
Yeah, he arrived at a fucking cricket ground in a helicopter.
Oh,
Really?
that's because he just got off a plane.
Yeah,
So,
I don't give a fuck.
He didn't
Drive
drop
it.
in
Get an
military.
Uber, cunt.
I just saw them, they pushed him out like, where's my parachute?
You don't need one, Dave, you dickhead.
Also, did you guys know that the French used the Brisbane Lions song for their national anthem? I was pretty surprised to hear that as well.
I didn't notice it.
Yeah.
Is that Johnny Cash?
No, the Brisbane Lions song. Just remarkable. I know my other note is that motorsport is so much better in movies.
That's going to upset some people.
I disagree.
But go on.
It definitely is. Like it's much like gridiron soccer and boxing.
I agree.
I don't agree.
Yeah, and the only I just written here
Boxing
again
as well. Boxing's way better in movies.
Oh,
much better in
boxing, I agree with you on that
Boxing,
one.
you're like, this would be dope, but then you're like, these guys are just hugging each other. Yeah. And then my only other note we've mentioned was I just can't believe that they managed to get such an emotional payoff out of them coming third after all that. I thought it was fucking unreal.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Kudos.
Yeah. Well done. Cast and crew.
Do it.
Ready? Neil Blomkamp. He is the director. He's back on the pod.
Back
I'm
on the
shocked.
pod.
I had no idea.
Last time we did. Yeah, that's cool that you didn't know. Yeah. So for those that don't know Neil Blomkamp, he's of District 9 and Elysium fame. So a highly respected and regarded sci-fi
When's he
director.
going to do his Alien movie?
Now,
They're not letting him do it. Let him do.
let him cook. The last time, well, after this, might doubled their money. Does Sony do Alien movies? Is it Sony?
That's Fox and Disney now.
Nah, so he might not.
There is
'cause
only
he's a
one
Sony
corporation.
director. Yeah.
Romulus
You're
is
right.
coming out, and that's done by the guy that did horror movies. So I'm
Is it?
really excited.
Yeah, it looks good.
It looks very horror-y.
So the last time we had Neil Blomkamp was when we did Chappie.
Chappie.
And that podcast, if anyone's interested in
Two negative
hearing
Nellies fucking
sad-
tearing a movie.
if anyone's interested in listening to sad Duff, then give Chappie a listen.
Don't listen to it. It's
BJ
one of
and
the worst audio I've ever heard.
Oh,
And I stopped listening to the pod as soon as that episode ended.
I
listen to it.
remember two words that I used, and it was actively irritated. That was my review of that movie.
Wasn't great, was it? Great pod, but yeah, not a good.
Terrible.
If you want to hear Duff's heart get broken,
It's just fucking.
You apparently, someone messaged me at 46 minutes into that pod. You can actually hear his heart
snapping
break.
sound.
It's like a it's like when you step on leaves, like that crunching sound, and
then
that's
a
his
wheezing
heart
noise.
It's like. Fucking.
Very good.
Chappie's a good boy.
Chappie. So yeah, I don't want to talk. I mean, we obviously covered him off last time, but what else do you say? He did District 9 and Elysium.
Yeah.
Two of the greatest sci-fis of the 21st century, if not, there'd be two out of the top 10 at least.
And if District 9 qualified for the podcast, it probably would have been the first movie we did.
Oh, we would have done both of them by now easily, but they're both quite high, or at least in the 60s, 70s. I think what I will say is if this is the new Neil Blomkamp, where he's doing studio movies and he's just getting paid to do like just your typical, like this is a pretty universal kind of accessible film.
Yeah.
If he's going to do these, but with his like
Style.
flair and style and like expertise,
Yep.
then I'm all in.
Yeah.
Do another
100%.
one. Give another one to him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really into that because he's a weird dude.
Yeah.
Like the last 5 years, he's been making like low budget fucking horror shorts in his like Alaska wilderness or something.
Thought he was done.
Yeah,
I'm so glad to have him back.
And then he just comes back with this, which is such a weird movie choice.
What a
but-
fucking weird, like, arc.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
All I can
Like
think,
Elysium,
yeah.
Chappie.
Yeah. Well, District 9, it was his
think
debut,
District 9,
right?
which
Yeah,
It
is
was his
and then Chappie,
baby.
yeah.
And then, that got him the cachet to make these other ones.
Yeah.
And as you say, like,
I'm wondering whether he ran out of money making all these shorts and this TV show he had and all that sort of shit.
it's
and
like,
now
all
he's
right,
like,
I'll make you fucking
Give me
racing.
10 million to start my
I'll
hobby
do a
again.
studio,
Yeah.
get me money back, and then
Yeah.
I'll go and do my
Yeah,
other.
right.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Possibly, because also I was interested to see who directed it. As I said, I avoided knowing anything about this as much as possible, but I knew that it was going to be somebody good because
Oh yeah.
when I finished it, the other night. I was like, what are the critics going to say about this? Because we talk about whether it's objectively a well-made movie or not, like whether the craft of the film is actually decent.
Which critics can't seem to do that.
No.
We can.
And we're
but critics
fucking
can't.
morons.
Yeah,
These fucking guys-
And we
play.
figured that out.
Yeah.
Don't talk about the critics. Still angry.
There's no like we have done movies without mentioning any like Lethal Weapon and whatnot, but that have editing errors or glaring things that are about the actual process of making a movie. This was obviously done by someone who knew what they were doing.
Fuck yeah.
Even better than that, it was done by somebody who wasn't just going as safe as possible.
Yep.
This dude was flexing.
Had a style.
He was flexing
Had
a
flair.
few-
Yeah.
I love
agree.
it. Yeah.
So what I will leave you with Neil, I've got a special treat here. So Neil has an upcoming film.
Okay.
And I was on his IMDb and I thought, wonder if he's got another movie after this. Wonder if
He
that's
sure
Joe.
does.
Yes. So allow me to read well, first of all, it's called They Found Us.
Okay.
Now, the main star is almost a friend of the pod, but we haven't done a movie of his yet. Joel Kinnaman.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here's the plot. During a camping trip in the Utah wilderness to heal their broken relationship, a father and daughter must fight against a hostile extraterrestrial life form to prevent their abduction to an unknown and terrifying alien world. We are doing sci-fi again, baby.
Right. We're doing Daddy Daughter Predator.
We're doing fucking original,
Yeah.
and we're doing sci-fi,
Yeah.
and we're doing Neil Blomkamp, and we're doing Joel Kinnaman. Put it
Utah
in my veins.
Wilderness.
Love Joel.
Yeah.
Utah wilderness, isn't it just deserts?
Oh, there's mountains and
Is
shit.
that shit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
That makes sense, I guess.
Bigfoot
Hey?
country? Might
No.
be.
Yeah, yeah.
great.
Bigfoot's got several wives in the mountains up
Great.
there.
Great. Interbreeding.
Yeah.
Okay. So the writer was Jason Hall. Never heard of him.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. No, he's not done a lot. He did this. He's actually more of an actor.
Okay.
But once again, didn't recognize him when I looked him up. But he's in like 20 movies.
Yeah.
But he did the screenplay for American Sniper.
Okay.
Which that's obviously a bit controversial, that film, but I thought it was pretty good. He did. Do you know? I don't think you would have seen it, BJ. But did you ever watch Paranoia?
Oh, did I ever watch Paranoia? Yeah.
Did you ever see it? It's like a 2013. Who's in it? Old man, Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford, no.
Is it Harrison Ford?
No.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. It's not very good.
No, it's shit.
I'm glad we spent this
He did do one I really liked, which was from about 3 or 4 years ago. It was a COVID movie. It came out during COVID anyway. It was called Thank You for Your Service with Miles Teller.
I've heard of it.
They
but
come
I've
back
never
from the
watched
war with demons, and it's just about that sort of. It's like real heavy, but
Yeah.
it's a standout performance from Miles Teller.
Everything he does is pretty good.
Yeah. So that's all I got for Jason Hall. We must see him again. He's got some credits there.
He's keeping working. He's keeping working.
So then we have the cast, which is the Yan is Archie Madekwe. He plays Yan, and I thought he was great.
Yes,
I thought he was
he's
exceptional.
excellent, yeah.
It was good.
Yep.
It was good.
I couldn't-
You could get a really annoying character, and you wouldn't be cheering for him as much as you
Yes.
Funny you say that, because what I was thinking the whole time I was watching this, it was like, because let's say he doesn't have a lot of star power, this guy, like no one's watching it because he's in it.
Yeah.
Who could have done it that would have brought more people in that would have done as good a job? And I couldn't think of anyone
In that age group?
like a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
Tom Holland, because he looks 20.
There's
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, okay.
There's not.
But he would have been cheesy
I think
Yeah.
it's better to be an unknown-ish.
Yes.
in a film like this.
It
Yeah,
really
because
helps. Yeah.
it helps with the narrative as well. He's unknown, becomes a racer.
Yeah, agree.
True story. Maybe that's why they did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
I
point.
agree.
Good point. So I've mentioned before, but he had a reasonable part in Midsommar.
Yep.
Did you ever watch Voyages with Ty Sheridan?
No.
They're it's a bunch of young people on a plane, and it's kind of like Equilibrium. They're taking a pill to keep their emotions aside.
No.
And then like he stops taking the pill and fucking whatever works. Yeah.
Catches feelings.
Quite good. But anyway, he was in that. He was like a decent part in that. He was one of the kids. You know,
Okay.
they were like 15-year-olds or whatever.
Yep.
And Saltburn, obviously, we mentioned a couple of times, and on the Redeemies last week, I think they got a couple of shout-outs.
Yeah. I think that'll the combination of these two things with the range that is shown across those two
Oh,
movies.
he's going to be.
His
Now that I remember him in Midsummer, fucking hell.
Yeah.
I'll never see him in that again because I refuse to watch that movie
one and done.
again.
The only problem with him I can foresee is he's awkward physically.
He's very tall.
He's fucking so tall.
Do you fit in a racing car?
Yeah,
Dunno.
he
We'll
must
find
be.
out.
I'd say 6'5", and he's like pretty skinny.
Yeah.
And I just don't know how those guys work as like stars. I don't know whether he can. Yeah, I mean he did well in this, but yeah.
All it takes is one personal trainer and you're up.
It's why Lyle Lovett's
but
career never
he's
took off.
Very tall.
So's Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's an anomaly.
Yeah, Vince Vaughn's very funny though.
He's very funny.
You can be tall, but you got to be funny.
You got to be funny.
That's
man.
the rules.
Yeah. What do you guys?
Hey,
think?
we don't make the rules.
What do you think? You liked him? You
I
happy
love
with
him. I think he's great.
I thought
Yeah.
he was perfect.
I didn't look,
for the
but
role.
I assume he's got some more shit coming out. I didn't look, but I'll keep an eye out for him.
Yeah.
Let's. You know what?
Look up.
Let's write him down. Let's watch his career.
All right.
From afar.
Making a note.
Yeah.
Watch list, it's
And
called.
we'll reach out to him if needed.
So it's him and Will Poulter we're looking for.
Yes.
Will Poulter's
Will Poulter.
definitely high. He's high. Will Poulter's higher than this guy, than
Will
Archie.
Poulter.
Cool name as well, Archie Madekwe.
Yeah, cool.
Archie,
can you spell Madekwe for me?
Madekwe is Madekwe. Actually stayed on the Madekwe National Park in Botswana.
Named after him?
Maybe. Same spell.
Right.
Travels with Ken.
It's where I did a camping safari camp with lions. So
Yeah.
no big deal. Moving on. The next we got David Harbour. Next we got David Harbour. I mean, Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Do I need to say anything else?
Yeah. So, I know that this is... No, don't worry about it. I was just going to talk about Stranger Things, but we're just on a TV podcast. So I just think he's the only person who's really managed to leverage that show so far so well. Even Millie Bobby Brown has had a
And
couple
I
of
feel the
things.
kid.
I think Finn Wolfgang Hound has done all right.
What's he in?
And
Ghostbusters? Lead character in 2 blockbuster Ghostbuster movies.
yeah, and the other guys.
Is there two Ghostbusters movies? Is there?
Apparently the new one's a pile of shit, but
Yeah.
the first one did fucking very well.
Did it?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
300-400 mil. Yeah,
The other,
I haven't seen it.
it's a blockbuster.
the kid from
It's a good
the
movie.
first one, the last one is the new Human Torch in Fantastic Four.
Oh, has he been denied a bank loan?
The Human Torch denied a bank loan.
So yeah, you're right. To go back to David Harbour,
Yeah.
that role where he played the most likable character ever in a TV show, where was the sheriff
Yeah.
in Stranger Things. That role was so iconic, and he's so good in that he will forever be the sheriff in Stranger Things.
Yeah.
And it's great for him because he's got a career out of it, because he was actually in 20 Things before that.
I was gonna
but
say
no
he's
one knew his
working on-
name.
Yeah.
Oh man, I remember him from Equalizer.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
right,
yeah.
But that was after Stranger Things.
Was it?
yeah,
Yeah, that's what I remember him from.
Yeah. But like he will forever be the sheriff from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Which I don't know whether that's good or bad.
I think he's getting out of that. Now he's becoming David Harbour.
Yeah.
He's not David Harbour, the guy from Stranger Things.
was Hellboy,
David
wasn't he?
Harbour. Yeah.
They tried him as Hellboy, it didn't
Shit.
work.
That
Yeah.
didn't
Shit
land.
movie.
That was before Stranger Things, right?
All right,
No.
Duff. If you're right,
After.
if you're right, what's he done to convince me that you're right, that he's David Harbour and not the sheriff
Equalizer.
of Stranger
Deadly
Things?
Night?
No. Violent Night? Yeah.
Is that the one?
Didn't go that well. As in, it's a good movie, but it's like...
I fucking loved it.
Well, it didn't go to the cinema.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
did.
Did it?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Got my pulse on the horror, buddy. Yeah. I'm a big fan of David Harbour.
No,
and
so am I. I'm not talking shit.
You're coming across
I'm just-
really
all right.
passive aggressive.
Let me put it this way. Who is he?
David Harbour.
Who is he as an actor? Is he the action guy? Is he the dramatic guy? Is he the guy that the studio calls and says, we need a familiar face that we know is a very good actor, but we don't have $8 million. We've only got $2 to $3 million.
Well, that's garbage because
Possibly.
he's a Red Guardian in the new Thunderbolts movie, and he was
I don't
in
know
Black
what
Widow
any-
as well.
Those
Marvel.
words you just said mean nothing to me.
Marvel.
I don't know what a red thunderbolt is.
See, you're being passive aggressive. Put your cock away.
No, but is the red thunderbolt the main character in that?
Thunderbolt is the name of the movie,
Okay.
and he's one of the main characters in that.
And
And
how
he's
well-
in
and-
Black Widow as well.
And how well are the lower tier Marvel movies going at the moment?
Well, this one's part of the new phase. I don't know.
Exactly.
Lower tier.
They're lower tier.
Come on, man. You don't know what
No
you're
one
talking
knows what the fucking Red Guardian is.
Yes, they do.
Okay.
I've never heard of it.
I've never heard of it in my life.
I'm just having a fun time scrolling his IMDb. He's done so much.
Yes.
But he was just that guy forever, right?
That's right.
Here's another one who's in all these procedurals, Law and Order, the unit.
So I've got a feel like he was in Extraction. If you remember, he popped in. He was in Equalizer. He popped in.
Yeah.
He was in. Obviously, he had Violent Night. That was about the only movie he's actually been the main guy.
He's the face on the poster of that.
Yes. I think that's the only movie I can think of where he's the main star.
Yeah.
Hellboy.
Everything else he's. Oh yeah, Hellboy. Sorry, but that bombed hard.
Oh, yeah.
Not his fault. He was good in it. But
Lucky
it
for
was a
him,
shit
he's wearing a
movie.
lot of makeup, so no.
See, I'm just playing, like, as I said, Duff, I'm a huge David Harbour guy.
Doesn't
But
sound like
I've
it.
just got a feeling that he might be destined to be the guy with the familiar face that everyone loved from the TV show Stranger Things.
Looking at his IMDb, I think you're probably right.
I
Look
think
at
I
it.
am.
What is his upcoming projects?
Oh, God, I just closed it. Hang on. Panicking. Wi-Fi in here's really slow.
It's not the Wi-Fi, it's your phone from 2007, mate.
Upcoming projects, 5.
iPhone 3.
Creature Commandos.
Okay.
Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
Night of the Apocalypse. Zoopocalypse. That's a catchy title.
These aren't sounding mainstream.
The Thrashers.
Okay.
And My Dentist's Murder Trial.
Perfect.
That's the name of a movie. I don't have a dentist, clearly. And if I did, hopefully they're not on trial for murder.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah, that's... And so far, like the dentist... There's Pedro Pascal in the dentist one.
I've got a feeling
Perfect.
that this Red Guard... What's it called, sorry? I'm not being a dickhead. The Red Guardians?
It's
Guardians?
Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts. And he plays the Red Guardian.
Yeah.
Is the Red Guardian the main character from Thunderbolts?
He's one of the main characters.
Right.
Yeah, they're all the same.
It's
It's,
not-
it's an ensemble.
Like the Fantastic Four or whatever.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yo.
Yeah.
He's in a upcoming movie, sorry, I've just been on the internet, called The Thrashers.
Yeah.
And I'm watching this for sure. I know this story. It follows the rise and fall of Jimmy Galante, a garbage tycoon from Danbury, Connecticut, and the partner of the Genovese crime family. This is the guy they made a doco about it, and he buys his son the Thrashers ice hockey team. Have you ever seen
Oh,
the doco?
yes.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck, are they making a movie of that?
Yeah.
I've seen that.
We spoke about that on the pod.
I recommended it on
I've
the pod.
seen that.
did?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I watched it.
It's wild, eh?
Yeah, that's fucking
That's
nuts.
a great idea for a movie. All right, I'm in. He's a star.
Yeah. No, he is. Yeah. No, he's fucking great, man.
That was
He's
hard
so-
work.
You got there,
Can we
buddy.
edit that
You got
to
there,
like
buddy.
2 minutes? Is
Make
that
it
a
snappy.
So-
Montage that shit.
So reliable. So reliable. He's so reliable.
He's great.
I want him to find his lane. That's what I'm getting at.
I reckon this
I want him to
movie-
be David Harbour, the fucking...
I'm a
action
David
hero.
Harbour guy. My wife's a David Harbour guy. And
Okay. I've heard
that's the only two people I know. So
I support you.
Orlando Bloom.
Right.
Is he back?
Is he still married to that sex pest woman? What's her name? Katy Perry.
Is he married to her?
I'd cancel.
wasn't
her
that
if I had the
like
power.
40?
I need to follow the fucking... What do you call it? The tabloids. I don't know anything.
News.com.
Is he married to her?
He was.
Oh,
Katy Perry. I
Yeah.
thought that was Russell Brand.
Yeah, he was too.
Oh.
Oh, she loves the sex pest too. Oh no,
Yeah.
she's the sex pest.
She might be the sex pest. Oh,
She
I
is
don't know if I
definitely.
can say that.
Orlando Bloom has aged like a fine wine.
He looks
if
great.
that wine was in a dusty basement cracked open.
What?
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
man.
he's getting less handsome as he gets older. He's getting more physically fit because he's in phenomenal shape.
Yeah.
But
He
he's getting
started
less
as a
handsome.
13 out of 10 in the handsome scale, and he's down to an 8.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's
Yeah.
getting less handsome as he gets older.
Yeah, but still relative to the rest.
I
of
will
us.
never forgive Orlando Bloom. Not his fault, but the character he played in Troy, I will fucking never
Yeah.
like Orlando Bloom. And also his piss weak performance in Black Hawk Down. Fuck off. He just took some fucking shit roles, and I don't like him. But as an actor, I think he's pretty
He's
good.
okay.
I like him. Yeah,
Yeah.
His Orlando Bloom, whether he's back or not, I think I might be able to answer the question.
Okay.
Possibly.
Okay. Yeah.
Outpost, back.
2020, he was in a film called Outpost, which was spoken about on the pod before.
One of my favourite movies of 2020.
One of the most underrated war films of the last decade. Very good movie. He's good in it. After that, and a couple of years goes by,
Oh, he's popping out kids.
he then gets this film, which is Gran Turismo, right? So really nothing in between.
Right.
Yeah. Another great film.
He's
So we
raising
go-
Russell Brand's
So
children.
we go, okay, so he's done Outpost and then he's done Gran Turismo. He's back. He's fucking back, right? You have to say that. Two pretty. Outpost wasn't a big film, but it did well.
Fuck.
It's
3 years
appreciated.
apart.
Yeah. Hold on though. Then just 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
a new Orlando Bloom film drops.
Tell me more.
It's called Red Right Hand.
Ooh.
I read the synopsis.
This is about Nick Cage.
It's a crime thriller.
Cave.
No, it's a crime. It's a
You
crime
edit that so
thriller.
I made it sound
of
like I
course,
said it right?
Of course, I always look after you on the edit, BJ.
Thank you.
It's a crime thriller, and it's set in a shitty small town in Midwestern America.
Yeah.
In one of those like opioid crisis towns.
Yeah.
And he's got a a drunk brother-in-law that his sister's dead. The drunk brother-in-law's looking after the daughter, but he can't help himself, and he's deep in with this local kind of crime gang that want to kill him or whatever.
Played by Casey Affleck?
No.
Oh, damn it.
That's where
Christian Bale.
That's where this story takes a turn for the worse.
Oh.
I watched it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is it out?
Of course I watched it. It was it was average at best.
Yeah, okay.
But it was low budget.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like a guy like me can say it's average at best, but 90% of people watch it and go, that was fucking awful. And only lasted half an hour. Like, it's not good. It's a B-grade movie.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was like, fuck, that's a shame because he's gone Outpost,
Yeah.
Gran Turismo, he's gaining momentum, he's back, and then I'm going to do a late night.
When was this
B-grade
movie
Gran
released? Because it's got there's a huge gap.
literally like 3 weeks ago.
When was it made? Sorry.
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
So you think it might have been made before Gran Turismo?
Yeah, maybe.
Possibly.
That's
That's
possible.
a good point,
Yeah.
actually. I should have looked that up.
Yeah.
He's in incredible shape again.
Yeah.
In this movie, he's got like no shirt on for half the movie. He's doing the Jake Gyllenhaal from Roadhouse where he just wears no shirt. But yeah, anyway. So, I think, I don't know yet. If you're right, Duff, and I want you to be, because I do want him to be back.
I want him to be back.
I do too. I want him to divorce Katy Perry too. But
Your guys' favourite Orlando Bloom movie? I didn't have his Metacritic here.
Ready? Wait for it. It's fucking Gran Turismo. Like I said, I loved his character.
Wow, okay.
And I hate him
Yeah?
in everything else he's in, but I like the actor. It's weird.
Yeah, honestly, I don't have a big relationship with Orlando Bloom as an actor.
Yep.
So this is probably massive recency bias, but yeah, I'm going to agree with Duff. I think he did.
Gran Turismo Outpost.
He was a big part of this.
I'll do Kingdom of Heaven, specifically the director's cut.
Okay.
Yeah. If you watch the director's cut, don't fucking make that noise unless you have, Duff. No. You haven't. You piece of shit. Get out.
guys.
How dare you?
You piece of shit, get out.
You know what I fucking hated him in was that Pirates of the Caribbean.
I hate those movies. I hate
Yeah.
them so much. All right, the rest of the cast is relatively inconsequential, I would say, in this film, other than Digimon, obviously, but we spoke about him a bit, and we've spoken about him before a lot.
Is
friend of the
he
pod.
a friend of the pod?
I think
Let's
he
do
is.
it.
Yeah.
I think we called it already
Yeah.
a few eps ago.
Yeah.
I think we might have called it.
Friend of the pod. Well
Official.
done.
Lock
Friend of
it
the
in.
pod, write him
Lock
down.
it in.
Write down
Write it
Digimon, friend of the pod. We should actually
It's called
do
Digimon.
it's like Dijonais, but without the A's. We should actually post on our socials the friend of the pod list.
We really should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get that
Yeah,
going.
we'll get onto that. We'll get our socials team onto that.
And that was it for the rest of the cast. Like, their girlfriend didn't really have anything to do or say.
Cool chick.
Yeah, she was fine.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not being,
She loves travel.
yeah.
That's
Cool.
good. I think that's her only character arc.
Yeah.
You guys
Just
want-
travel.
But she was chill.
You guys
she
want
was
some
chill.
fun facts to
Do it.
close this
Let's go.
motherfucker out? All right.
Kill count 1.
Controversial. Jan Mardenborough plays a stunt double in the film for the actor who portrays himself. So he did a lot of the racing and stuff like that, the actual guy.
Yeah,
Have you got any fun facts that we haven't mentioned yet?
They weren't granted access to film at Le Mans.
Oh.
So they weren't allowed on the track.
Oh, that's fucking nuts.
Yeah, so they recreated the entire track with visual effects based off the actual GT game.
Yep.
And video footage of actual Le Mans races.
Why
So
wouldn't
the
they
Le
let
Mans,
us?
sorry.
This
Why
is-
wouldn't they? Did you know why?
The French, man, they're so uptight. This is the dumbest thing to have noticed, but like talking about attention to detail, which is excellent in this film, to the point, I love the tires spinning, little rocks flicking up and shit like that. Those shots of the grandstands at Le Mans, the grandstands weren't full. They were like 3/4
Scattered,
full, and there was
patches.
and like
Well, it's a 24-hour race.
But it's so but the start of it with the jets and everything,
Yeah.
fucking military and the Brisbane Lions song and everything. But like, I reckon it's actually good attention to detail to not just be like, oh, the grandstands will be packed. It's a conscious decision to be like, no, to recreate it more realistically.
Yeah.
We'll have
Some empty seats.
Yeah. It's the dumbest detail, but I actually noticed it and I thought, good for
Look,
them.
it wasn't on my list of fun facts, but I like it.
I was just pointing out
Thank
because you mentioned it.
Thank you. We went over Jerry
I'll go fuck
Halliwell
myself,
and
shall
her.
I?
No, I liked it. All right, so here's the bit you're going to like, BJ.
What, I'll
Is
hate it?
What BJ
You are in a bit of a mood.
What BJ loves more than anything is cooking the books.
Oh, yeah.
when they cook the books.
I've
and they
been
say this
suspicious.
costs
Are you
180
confirming
mil. And yeah, no.
Conspiracy BJ's got issues.
So they did. They cooked the books on the opening weekend figures.
Yeah.
So what they did. So I'll just read it verbatim because it's easy to explain that way. The film opens number 1 in North America.
Nice.
Which is quite good because it was up against what was it up against?
Barbie
and Blue Beetle.
No
yeah.
shit.
Yeah,
I was joking.
So it opens number 1 with
Bad
17
call by PlayStation Studios.
Yeah, $17 million on opening day.
Right.
This was met with skepticism because Sony included earnings from 2 weeks' worth of preview screenings in its Friday box office figures, which they don't usually do. The advanced screenings don't count
of course
to
not.
opening day box. Yeah. So that's what they did. So there was an extra $5.3 million that was from the pre-screenings that they put onto the figures. Not that any of this really matters. I just thought it was interesting.
Well, my faith in massive corporations is shaken.
The film's actual opening weekend was $12 million, which was less than Barbie at $15 million and less than Blue Beetle at $12.2 million. But because they added the other thing, it actually came in stronger than Barbie and Blue Beetle, which is unbelievable to think.
I think I realised why no one's seen this movie. Barbie
up
was a
against Barbie.
fucking juggernaut.
Who the fuck releases it at the same time as Barbie? Matt, that guy got fired.
It went up against Barbie.
That scheduler got fired.
Yeah, well, you would assume that.
Out of a cannon into the sun.
Probably. But you would assume...
You go against Barbie, you release it beforehand because then you got Oppenheimer to fucking deal with afterwards.
The only thing I can think of is sometimes it's good to have an alternative.
Yeah, right.
So you go, okay, Barbie's for a lot, but not for everyone. There's still 15 to 35-year-old dudes that want to go see a movie this weekend, and we maybe don't want to see Barbie, although a lot of us did.
Yeah.
We want to see fucking car racing and gaming. Yeah. Well, that's what you need. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, wow.
What do you guys want to redeem? What do you want to do?
I'll go first.
Sounds like everyone is.
Short and sweet. I love the racing. I love the character build-up. It made me cry twice.
Sorry to hear that.
It's just a really good movie. And I love a good fucking movie where it's just like a lot of heart in it. It makes me feel a lot of emotions. And I enjoy it. Because it's very hard to enjoy a movie you recently just watched, but I fucking enjoyed it. So for that reason, I'm giving it a 72. Really liked it.
Yeah, wow.
Nice. BJ?
Yeah, I had an absolutely great time. I was surprised how much I got reinvested in this, considering I had only watched it recently. And I was there, man. Like, as you say, I was riding the emotional highs and lows, which is exactly what they wanted us to do, obviously. It's the whole point of the thing.
Did it well.
They did. I was... really, the races themselves, they pulled off really, really well. I get bored pretty easily in that kind of shit.
Yep.
I loved it. I even loved the number that they do on the race.
Yeah,
that's him. That's him with the big fucking superimposed number and shit. It wasn't quite to the same extent as, I remember the first time I saw Rocky when I was a kid and I was standing up screaming and yelling.
Yeah.
But inside I was standing up and screaming and yelling a little bit. It won me over again.
Yeah, right.
I just think
that's cool.
And this time watching it so close together allowed me to watch it as like, I hate using the word critically, but you know what I mean in terms of like checking out the way it's actually made.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
How well it's done.
As you're saying, the first time you're so emotionally invested.
Pardon the pun, but you're just on a ride. Yeah. This time I was actually like not trying to pick it apart, but just looking at it through a different prism. Yep. Still think this is a very, very well made movie. It made me feel things. I had a great time. It didn't leave a stain on my soul. I'm not going to remember it forever.
Yep.
But I'll watch it again one day for sure.
Yeah, I'd be happy to.
Fucking kudos to everyone involved, including PlayStation, Nissan, and the other product placements. I'd like to thank all the sponsors.
Logitech.
Strongly redeeming. Yeah. Fucking strongly redeeming. I'm going to give it 76.
Great. Love that. Yes, for me as well. It wasn't like a groundbreaking sports movie, but I would say it's in the upper echelon of sports movies.
Yeah.
Forget about the video game aspect, just sports movie.
You forget about it. You do forget about it.
You don't need it. Yeah, it was cool that it was in there, but So the other thing for me is I'm a big fan of based on a true story, as I think a lot of people are. There's hundreds of them, so they must be popular. But when you have a story like this that's so remarkable or unbelievable, I'm all in on that. Yeah. Provided it is actually the true story, and
unremarkable true stories aren't so much.
No. Yeah, but also like the true story. When they do like a biopic,
like my life.
Yeah.
Average dude achieves average
things. But this is like particularly unbelievable.
Yeah, it really is.
Like other things in true stories, it might be way heavy, like a war movie that's based on a real, like Saving Private Ryan or some shit.
Yeah,
and you're like, wow, that's remarkable. No, this is actually more unbelievable.
Yeah, true.
It really is.
Yeah.
I know the stakes
got shot at.
Yeah, the stakes aren't as high. high, but this guy, it's so.
I'm sorry, sir.
I was just so captivated by that, and then as you guys both said, so much heart, so emotionally invested. And if you get me emotionally invested, then you've made a great film. As in, not me personally, but if you get the audience emotionally invested, then you know how to make a film.
Or both, really?
Yeah, sure. So I'm going to give it pretty much the same as you guys. I'm going to give it a 75.
Nice.
And if you disagree with me, I'll come to your house and I'll beat you at your favourite video game.
Really easy.
Yeah. Soft one this week. But I will honestly do that. So
we should do something.
Email in if you didn't like it, and I'll come to your house and beat you at fucking whatever.
Yeah, right. Anything, you pick the game.
I'm not that good at video games, but I'm very good at picking them up quickly, so I'll beat you within an hour.
I'm not good at video games, but I cheat.
Yeah.
So we should do something about true stories on the mini, I reckon.
I'm going to.
Are you?
Yes.
Wow,
We're gonna
great
do
minds, Kenny, great minds.
We're going to do our top 5 films based on a true story.
Nice.
And I've also got a little game planned around movies based on a true story. So a lot of true story shit happening.
Yeah, right.
No biopics.
Maybe.
Maybe
there is.
Hate them.
Thanks for tuning in, and thanks, guys, for enjoying that movie.
All the best.
No, it was great. Thanks for making me watch it. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Goddamn, what a rush.
Bye.